Welcome to Film Madness Tournament.
Is that what we're calling it?
Well, this is how little insider into sports, David. In America, there is a basketball system that happens in March that uses this tournament system, and it's known as March Madness.
Okay.
If you've seen How I Met Your Mother, it's how they work out as an episode where Barney is trying to work out a girl that's turned up, and they use the same bracket system. It's that system.
I remember that.
It's based on the March Madness system. So I'm calling it Film Madness. Not an inventive title, but we're going with it.
Yeah, June Madness.
June Madness, because it is a bit mad at the moment. So
very mad.
It's just me and David. We are alone. And when me and David are alone, we come up with some mad shit.
We do.
Last time we came up with best and worst.
It spawned best and worst.
So
let's not talk about the others.
No, but we've done it again. We've limited it to one idea now.
Yeah.
But we think it's a good idea.
Well, it's going to take up a hell of an amount of time by the looks of it. So.
Which is what we need.
Mm.
As mentioned before, we're doing a tournament-style system for film franchises. Pardon me. We have picked 4 of the biggest film franchises that exist.
Or at least the ones with the most films.
At least one, yeah. So, yeah, some of the most films, because we needed a minimum of 8 for each one for it to work. So we've got Harry Potter, Star Wars, the MCU, and the James Bond films. Those 4. The big 4. There's others, but they didn't have enough films, so fuck them. They each live in their own bracket. Each of these are in brackets. From those brackets, you work out the best film of each one, and then those 4 winners go against each other in a final tournament of champions to determine the best franchise film ever made. As with top 5 lists, this is definitive. No one can question it. This is the answer you all needed. We have seeded all the films based on their Metacritic score. Once we start going, we'll explain how that works. But they've been seeded like a professional sports thing. This is like... it's proper.
Yeah.
We've stolen a system that works and applied it to our own concept. So, what are we going to do first, David? Which one are we going to do first?
I don't mind.
You pick. You've got them on there.
You said Harry Potter first. Maybe we should.
So we'll do Harry Potter first.
Yeah.
Bring it up.
Do them in the order that you said them.
Bring up the bracket and we'll have a look.
Yeah, so I need to share my screen for this.
Share your screen, David.
I'm not going to share.
For those looking on the audio, we will read everything out. Don't panic. Okay. Oh, it's me. Hello.
It will be you for a while.
That's fine. For those listening on the audio format, we are going to read out read out what happens. But for those looking on the YouTube, you will have a beautiful visual representation of the system. So, as you can see, we've got the 8 Harry Potter films here, all pitted against each other, seeded from 1 to 8. So the highest rated on Metacritic goes against the lowest, the second highest versus the second lowest, third highest versus the third lowest, and then the 2 middle boys. So the best is versus the worst, essentially, on each one, apart when you get down to here. So the first couple, in theory, should be easy wins. And as we get to the bottom, things get a bit trickier. I've noticed a spelling mistake already.
Or Odor of the Phoenix.
Yes. But we know what it means. So, shall we begin, David?
Yeah.
There's also 2 of us, which means if we disagree, we need some sort of tie-breaking situation.
Yes, I forgot about that.
We should have decided on that.
We just go by Metacritic score in that instance.
Okay, in that instance, if we can't decide, we go by the one that would have won if they were actually playing a sport.
Yes.
So, let's begin, shall we, with the Harry Potter bracket? We're going for Game 1. Deathly Hallows. Yeah, look at that. Deathly Hallows Part 2. I say look at that. For people who can't look, listen to this. Deathly Hallows Part 2 versus Chamber of Secrets. Our number 1 seed with an 85 score on Metacritic versus our number 8 seed with a score of 63. David, what are your thoughts on this one?
I like Chamber of Secrets. I'm disappointed that it's the worst one on
It
there.
is regarded, apparently, according to all of the internet, which is what Metacritic does, it takes in all of the internet. It is the worst Harry Potter film, but 63 is still a decent score.
Yes. No,
Not
that's
to be sniffed at.
Not to be sneezed at.
No, it would be fresh if it was. By all regards, it is good.
It gets a green light on Metacritic for being over 60.
Yeah, there we go. Therefore, the average is high.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you feel? Which one are you voting for on this one?
Personally, out of the two of them, I actually prefer Chamber of Secrets, which that's very contentious.
It is.
I believe that Deathly Hallows is probably the better film, or at least it achieved more. It had a much higher bar to climb. It had to wrap up an entire series, whereas all Chamber of Secrets had to do was not suck.
Yeah, so we were speaking about this before. The final film in a franchise often, apart from a few very obvious examples, the final film in a franchise often gets a little boost because of its wrapping up nature.
Absolutely.
Because it's the end of the story, and therefore people have more high regard of it. Because
as long as it ends the franchise in a half,
then it's done its job.
Way.
Therefore,
yeah, people love it.
I'm going to throw a fucking curveball in here, David.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably prefer Chamber of Secrets as a
film.
film.
Shit. You mean that?
I'm not. Definitely Harry Potter 2 is good, but I don't. There's less moments of it I remember.
Yeah. I think
that may just to do with nostalgia because, Chamber of Secrets came out when I was like 8, 9.
Yes.
Whereas Deathly Hallows came out, when I was in sixth form. Like, it came out, ages later.
My favourite scene in the Chamber of Secrets is the Quidditch match. Because it did so much more than what was in the book, and it was absolutely mental.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that scene, and that probably holds most of my nostalgia for Chamber of Secrets.
And Deathly Hallows Part 2 does get a vote down on me because of the Part 1, Part 2 sort of thing.
Okay.
They should have split the two because it's a big book, but I don't think they did it at the right moment.
Yeah.
Or they could have included more stuff in both films.
No, absolutely.
And brought the split. I don't think they split it at the right point. That's a personal opinion on the books and stuff. But for that reason, that I've always seen Part 1 and Part 2 just as one long film. I don't really separate them. So I'm going to vote for Chamber of Secrets.
It feels really weird to be doing it. But
it does.
Yeah.
They're going through. The number 8 seed.
You know what?
Upset early on.
I imagine there's going to be a few unhappy faces back at Rat Party HQ.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
They should have been here. Should have been here.
Yeah.
Why aren't they here? Are they trying to get Arnold's Tim Tams?
I'll be honest, mate. Tim Tams are fucking good.
Are they?
I'm not going to lie.
I haven't had them. What are they?
They're like penguins, but like really nice. I imagine a penguin, but made out of like higher quality chocolate.
See, that's the one thing that I don't like about penguins. They're really low quality.
Yeah, so imagine them, but just better.
Oh, can we get them in the UK to read?
You can. I got them. There's a shop in the town in which I live. It's sort of like a oldie sweet shop, and they import some stuff, so you can get them in there.
Yeah.
But if Boris gets his way, they're going to be everywhere. We're going to be fucking. We won't be able to move for
Tim.
Tim
Drowning in Arnold's Tim Tams.
So many Tim Tams
at a reasonable price.
At a reason. Yeah, I'll be honest. Because it was exported in a specialist shop, they were a bit on the expensive side. I think they were about £3.
Okay.
Which is so much.
Yeah.
It's really worth the whole fucking Brexit thing to get maybe £1 off Tim Tams.
Let's not forget the blue passports that are actually more of a buy.
Oh, I love blue, and that are made in France. But we're getting political. Let's move on.
Yeah, exactly. Chamber of Secrets wins.
Chamber of Secrets go through. Fucking upset. Madness.
No additional info.
How do you... No, click X.
Uh-huh.
Click X. Hang on, do I have to do it? I think I have to do it, David.
Do you have to do it?
I think I have to do it. Let me do it.
Okay.
Has it changed on your screen?
I need to refresh the page.
Refresh the page.
Yeah. This is exciting. No.
Oh no. What's happened? Hold on, let me save changes. Does it work now? We thought this was going to work. What have we done?
Look at that.
There we go, it worked.
Okay, it worked.
So basically, little insides into the we built 2 of the brackets each and then had to share them. I had to share them with David. But now we know how to do it. I need to change it and then save it. So I'll do these ones as we're discussing it.
Yeah, and I'll just refresh the page for you guys.
Yeah, when it comes down to it. Okay, I'll tell you when to refresh. So Chamber of Secrets has gone through.
Considering an hour ago we had no idea what we were doing, this is
we're
good.
flying very much by the seat of our pants here.
Yeah.
Game 2.
Game 2.
Our number 2 seed, Prisoner of Azkaban, with a score of 82, versus our number 7 seed, which is Philosopher's Stone, with a score of 64. I have an obvious winner here, David.
I recently shared my astounding revelation that Prisoner of Azkaban was a really good film. For a long time, I insisted that it wasn't.
It's not only my favourite Harry Potter film; it may be one of my favourite films.
Yeah, see, that's where I've sort of drawn an interesting line. I think Prisoner of Azkaban is a really good film, but I'm not sure it's a good Harry Potter.
Okay, we're very opposite there. Well, I just love it, no matter what, what context.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, for me, Harry Potter was defined by Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
And the fact that lots of different people came around and fucked with the screen, like, stylings.
There was a tonal shift.
Yes, very much so. I think. Yeah. So I haven't reconciled with that. I insist that Philosopher's Stone is the best one, but I will be willing to give it to Prisoner of Azkaban just because, as a film, it is really good.
Well, I will not be moved on my opinion.
Or I take it your opinion is Prisoner of Azkaban.
It very much is.
We shall give that one the win then.
Okay, we're happy with that. Wonderful. Yes. Let me just do it, and I will tell you when to refresh.
Wonderful.
Give it a refresh now and see if it works.
There we go.
Wonderful. It all works.
Yeah.
Sorry for those watching, you can't see the total full name on the, but you know what it is. You could define all these with one word.
You can see it come up.
Yeah, so. You could literally with one word, you know what each of these films are. You put one word and you know what it is. So I'm not going to blame it. Right. Game 3. We have got our number 3 seed, Goblet of Fire, with 81, which is higher than it definitely should be. Versus our number 6 seed, Deathly Hallows Part 1, with 65. I think Goblet of Fire is by far the worst Harry Potter film.
See, I think Deathly Hallows Part 1 is the worst Harry Potter.
Oh no! So... What are we gonna do? But so that depends on how highly we rate the other one.
I enjoy Goblet of Fire. I think it's a bit of a mess at times.
Okay.
And there are some truly unforgivable adaptation errors.
Mm-hmm.
Namely Dumbledore yelling at Harry.
I mean, that bit, but that's just such a meme.
That bit alone,
it's almost worth it.
I won't.
I'll be honest. Right, of all the changes they make to the Harry Potter books and the film, for changing just the delivery of one line, in the grand scheme of things, isn't that much of an issue.
But it is. It's not the delivery of the line that you're changing. It's the entire character.
Yeah, true.
Somebody who calmly and rationally goes through everything in the world to somebody who starts throwing students around the trophy room.
Yeah. They didn't go for a slightly different angle on Dumbledore in the films.
Yes.
I think they went for slightly more morally grey than he's perceived in the books.
Honestly, that's the only change to Dumbledore that I really don't like.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Fair enough.
I
don't know what we're going to do here, David.
Try
because I don't feel that strongly about Deathly Hallows Part 1.
No, I was going to say try and justify Deathly Hallows Part 1.
But I don't put it that. I wouldn't put it that. As much as I think Goblet of Fire is the worst, Deathly Hallows Part 1 would probably be...
Why is it the worst one?
You know what? And I think it's somewhat circumstantial in that it followed Prisoner of Azkaban.
Sure.
And it seems so incongruous with Prisoner of Azkaban. It just seemed like the shift from 2 to 3 sort of made sense because of they're getting older. It's meant to symbolise them sort of maturing. Goblet of Fire for me felt like, for majority of the films, felt like a step backwards.
The only thing that had really grown was their hair, you know.
Yeah, it just felt like it settled back into the world was established before Prison of Azkaban. Whereas Prison of Azkaban for me changed the whole sort of world. Goblet of Fire maybe I think for me just took a back step. Apart from the end bit. The end bit gets fucking dark.
Yeah.
But it's sort I don't know. And I think the film it focuses so much on the Triwizard Tournament to the point that all other things are disregarded.
Yeah.
Whereas the book
Goblet of Fire.
The tournament's happening, but within that
there's a lot going on.
A lot more happens. So there's a lot more bubbling under the surface. Whereas that film is very much the tournament happens, Voldemort comes back. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think I missed out on some of the intricacies. But I can see why they did that from a filmic point of view. I can understand. They want the big set pieces. They want the big events to take up.
It's what we were saying earlier. Goblet of Fire was probably where they should have started splitting books if they wanted to.
Yeah, because Goblet of Fire is the second longest book.
It is.
So I think if they were going to split one, I think they should. But again, they couldn't have done that at that point because the film was still. They were big, but they were still, Yeah. I just think it's a poor adaptation of a book.
Yeah.
Which is where it pulls me up. But again, I don't have a strong opinion about either of these films. Well, I have a strong opinion about Goblet of Fire, but
honestly, I don't care much for either of them.
No, I don't think either of them are going to make it much further.
Good things about Deathly Hallows, then.
Good things about Deathly Hallows.
Part 1.
The dragon bit at the end is kind of cool.
That's not in Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Yeah, it is.
No, that's at the start of Part 2.
Is that the start of number 2? Oh, it is.
Yeah, the end of Part 1 is the whole.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell you what, Dobby's cracking one-liners.
Yeah. Yeah, Part 1 is.
Yeah.
It's just them being very angry in a tent, isn't it, for quite a lot.
Yeah. You've got Hagrid's bike chase at the start.
Yeah, the opening's good.
That's a bit weird, but
it is a bit weird.
Out of my
A lot of it, just when the deaths start rolling in. From the get-go, we lose Hedwig and Mad-Eye Moody in the same sentence.
You know what? I don't feel strongly.
I think either of them go through, and I don't think either of them are going to make it much further. This is the weakest matchup.
That's a fair point. That's really fair. It doesn't matter because in the next round they're going to go out.
I think they're going to go no matter what.
Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Yep. Okay.
I like underdogs.
Yeah.
Goblet of Fire doesn't deserve 81. I feel like they both deserve.
Yeah, I don't know how that's got that high. I don't understand. I don't know how it's the third best Harry Potter film. I don't get it. But can't say much. Apparently, the internet's decided. Right, you can refresh. It should work.
Cool. There we
go. Yay! Right, last one. Game 4.
Game 4
of the first line. We've got Half-Blood Prince versus Order of the Phoenix. Excuse the spelling mistake. Once you've saved it, you can't go back and change it. So I noticed it after. Yeah. Spelled Phoenix right though, which is more impressive.
Very true.
Phoenix. So this is by numbers should be the tightest one.
Yeah.
It's also the two they're sort of next to each other and sort of in the middle.
Yeah.
Which sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
Out of those, I prefer Half-Blood Prince for the comedic elements. It is probably the funniest Harry Potter film.
You don't think Order of the Phoenix is funny?
No. It's not. It's not that. I
don't remember laughing at either of them, to be honest.
Half-Blood Prince has got.
Oh, you know what? Yes, Half-Blood Prince has the whole love potion scene.
With Ron, and then Harry scene with the
of acting by Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, which is his best performance.
All right, I'm happy with Half-Blood Prince.
I'm very happy with Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah. Sorry, Order of the Phoenix. You're good.
Yeah,
but you're not next level good.
No, you're not. Right, lovely. We'll push that through.
Cool.
And we'll move on to the next. Oh, no, I must do it again. Oh, no, it worked. Wonderful. We did that at the same time and it worked. That's impressive. The internet's an incredible thing. Right, back up. So we're into the semi-finals. Okay. Game 5. We have got Chamber of Secrets. Our original number. That's our bottom seed. That's number 8 seed. It's done well to get to this point. versus our number 2 seed,
I
Prisoner
fear
of
it may,
Azkaban. I think it's surprising run. It's done, it's come out the gate strong and done better than it should have. But I'm afraid it's come up against just a far better.
It's hit a somewhat of a brick wall, I fear.
It has. It's come up against arguably the strongest team in the field.
Yeah.
And it's not by its own fault. It's been plucky up to this point, but unfortunately, I think it's going to have to.
There's only a certain
bow out.
Pluckiness that can.
There is
withstand the filmmaking talents of.
Yeah.
Alfonso Cuarón.
Yep. Definitely the.
Yeah.
The manager of the team has served them well. Yeah. Anyway. I think that's quite an easy one there. An easy one.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Next one, but I think again is arguably an easy choice.
Yeah.
Wow, Half-Blood Prince makes it to the final. Who would have thought this would fucking happen?
Well, I mean, the moment Deathly Hallows went through, we knew it would lose against whatever it came.
Yeah, we knew because it's probably my 2 least favourite films of those 2 films. So yeah. My vote goes for Half-Blood Prince for this one. It's also got like some emotional moments. Like it's when he sort of like his trust in Snape is destroyed. Yeah. That he thought he had, and Dumbledore fucking dies.
Yeah.
It's pretty emotionally.
There's a nice change in the film. Christ.
I think it sets up the. That was loud. It sets up the last book / last 2 films very well.
Mm. I was just saying, there's a really interesting change from the books in that Harry is able to move around during that last bit. Yeah. In the book, Dumbledore freezes him before he gets disarmed.
Yeah.
So he can't do anything.
That sequence where he's sort of moving below.
Yeah, and then
seeing their faces.
Snape.
Yeah.
He comes across Snape, and Snape puts his fingers to his lips, and Harry's like, "Okay," and it's like, "Ooh, that's like,
oh shit, shit." But then it all turns out for the best anyway. It had to happen that way for it to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was all part of the plan.
Yeah. Anyway, part of the plan. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah. Wonderful.
I think I have a suspicion of how the final.
I think we know what's going to happen, but I am pleasantly surprised by Half-Blood Prince making it. If probably do it again, to making it that far, I'm impressed.
Mm.
My vote definitely. I mean, it's worked out in terms of Metacritic. They've actually matched up quite well.
Yes,
it's our number 2 seed versus our number 4 seed.
Yeah,
so that's pretty fair. They're both in the top half, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But my vote would go for Prisoner of Azkaban in this instance.
I would love to make some sort of half-assed attempt at.
Not clever.
But no. If any of the films are going to beat Prisoner of Azkaban, it would be either of the first 2. And I've already around to seeing Prisoner of Azkaban as the best one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where this whole tournament system falls apart. If we've already picked a winner before we begin.
Yeah, that does happen.
Like you say, it's interesting to see which one.
Make it as far, make it to the final, because I wouldn't have called Half-Blood Prince making it that far.
No.
So it did well. Put a good show.
Joy of June madness.
Yes, June madness. There we go.
Prisoner of Azkaban wins.
The winner of I need to announce it as the winner. How do I do that? I think I can do it. Hang on, I think I can do that down. It's somewhere. Where is it? Oh no. It was here somewhere. I had the option, and now it doesn't. Oh no. Maybe I can't. Oh, here we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Refresh it, and it should say now. I put it in.
Oh.
I need to save it. Hang on.
It's highlight.
I saved it. Do it again. Refresh again, David. I promise.
Okay.
Champions! Prisoner of Azkaban. There we go.
Prisoner of Azkaban. Lovely.
Yes. Azkaban. Is there a kebab thing called Azkebab yet?
No.
There should be.
That's going to be our new business after this.
Azkebabs. Yeah. New business.
Yeah.
Brian and David's Azkebabs.
And next time Callum and Sam don't make it, we'll keep them locked up there. And they'll be
in the Prisoner of Azkaban.
They'll be the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay.
Perfect.
We've got our first winner.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And that's going to be going up against the winners of
the other 3 brackets, which we will
fun.
move on to. What's our next one, David? What are we going to go for next?
Star Wars? That's your other one. So once you've done that,
Wonderful.
then I can run through the others, and you don't have to worry about saving and refreshing.
Let's do it then.
Wonderful.
Open up Star Wars bracket. Here we go.
Here we go.
Same as before. Game 1 in the Star Wars bracket. We've got our number 1 seed versus our number
90.
8 seed. A New Hope with 90, the highest rating as of yet.
Wow.
Versus our lowest rating as of yet.
I can tell you now that's the highest rating in all of it.
Wow.
So
clearly the bookie's favourite for the overall win.
A New Hope. Wow.
I mean, I know the answer to this. I have listeners to the podcast will know I have sort of I've attempted to defend Rise of Skywalker. I won't defend. It's not a hill I'm going to die on, but I will defend it to some extent.
It has redemptive qualities, but I don't think it's.
But not enough.
It's not higher than A New Hope.
No, certainly not. This is an easy win. I think Rise of Skywalker knew going in they're not the strongest team. They came up across a big boy, the one that started it all. It was always gonna do it. So unfortunately, in this case, it's an easy win
for A New Hope.
You can refresh, and hopefully, it will be there.
Yeah.
Come on now.
There
we go.
A
New Hope wins game 1 and moves on to the semis. We move on to game 2 with our number 2 seed, The Last Jedi, with 84, versus our number 7 seed, Attack of the Clones, only 1 point better than Rise of Skywalker, with 54.
Which one didn't make the top 8? Because if we're doing Star Wars,
the one that didn't make because of 9 films, we're going to go down to 8. Phantom Menace, I think, had 49.
Oh,
I think. Let me double check that. No, 51.
Ah, okay.
It at least got in the top 50. Just.
Yes.
So yeah, Phantom Menace didn't make it in. Sorry for you, Phantom heads. I know you're out there. The people who love that, and you know what? There's got redeeming features. If I did my top 8, Attack of the Clones wouldn't be in there. It would be Phantom Menace, in my opinion.
My top 8 would have got rid of Rise of Skywalker. So.
There we go. So this is a contentious one.
Again, no offense. I just really didn't like it.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's easy, isn't it?
It's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy.
I mean, some people would go out and say anything is better than The Last Jedi.
Yep, which I think is a...
Unfortunately, neither of those people
and clearly, the internet doesn't agree, because The Last Jedi is the second most highly rated Star Wars film.
Yeah.
So clearly, all this Last Jedi hate doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah. That's like 16% of that.
Yeah. That's mad.
Yeah.
I think the critic scores may have helped with that, because Metacritic does combine audience, critic, all the stuff. So, but that's the fairest way of doing it, and that's why we chose that. Again, I think it's an easy answer here, David.
It is, yeah.
It's going to go with Last Jedi on that boy.
Yeah, Last Jedi. Go for it.
It's going a lot easier. It's going a bit smoother, this one.
I couldn't tell you much of what happens in Attack of the Clones.
Jango Fett dies.
Yeah. It's something about sand somewhere, I think.
The sand bit is in that. It's fucking memeable, the whole film.
Yeah.
And
then
there's a bit where Obi-Wan's hanging up, talking to Count Dooku, and he's rotating, but the camera's not, so he has to whip his head back and forth as he's talking. It's fucking awful. Oh
god.
But Ewan McGregor manages to keep composure, and he is the glue of those 3 films.
He really.
If Ewan McGregor wasn't in it, pulling out a fucking great performance, the films would be a lot worse off than they are.
We spoke during the top 5 Oscars about actors that never give a bad performance.
And Ewan McGregor's there, man.
I don't think he's won an Oscar, which is why we haven't.
No,
we didn't talk about him, but he's up there with those.
He's so consistent and can do a variety of things.
Yeah,
he can pull out all sorts of performances: comedic, dramatic, musical.
Yeah,
really intense. Trainspotting, one of his early ones, very different from Moulin Rouge.
Oh yeah,
and that's why I like him.
He's been in some bad films as well.
He has been in some bad ones, but he's weighed them out with some pretty decent ones as well. So I think as an actor, I prefer someone with a varied career rather than a sort of picky career.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I like to see a variety. So, but we're off topic.
We are.
Game 3. Our number 3 seed, Empire Strikes Back, versus our number 6 seed, Return of the Jedi. They're next to each other.
Return of the Jedi's number 6.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi. This is one of the ones that really surprised me.
Oh. I mean,
yeah.
Empire wins.
It does.
Let's talk about how Return of the Jedi got
so poorly. I don't know how it got fucking slew. Apparently, people don't like Return of the Jedi. What's not to like in it?
Is it something about the? I mean, maybe in the same way that Goblet of Fire is bad because it follows on from Prisoner of Azkaban. It's Return of the
Jedi. True. It follows such a good one.
Empire.
Yeah. You got New Hope and Empire, and then I mean, comparatively, it's out of the original trilogy, it is the worst.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
I don't think it was that bad. 58.
No,
I'd put it at least mid-60s.
Yeah, definitely.
If not edging on 70, but the internet disagrees.
No.
Unfortunately, it came. You know what? Versus some of the other options, it probably would have gone through, but it's come up against a big boy.
It's come up short, unfortunately.
And so it's unfortunately Empire Strikes Back is going to win that one.
Yep.
But no real surprises there. Empire is often regarded as the best, although only coming at number 3 seed in our system here.
No, definitely. I mean, Last Jedi beats it.
Yeah.
I can
which is surprising by 2 points, which isn't a massive difference, but enough to make it important. Right, on to game 4. I'm going to refresh, get it showing up.
I'm on it.
Wonderful. Here we go. Game 4, The Force Awakens. Was an 80 versus Revenge of the Sith at 68.
That's a big gap.
It's a big jump. Big gap. This is 4 and 5. Star Wars is very much split into 2 halves. There's almost 2 leagues here. Almost 2 separate leagues of 4 far superior outfits versus 4 clearly worse. Which is why our decisions have been relatively easy up until this point, and still is. It's still easy at this point. Because Force Awakens is by no means a perfect film.
No.
It's basically A New Hope, but reshuffled.
But
A New Hope's fucking great. It's got 90, so like you can't really fuck it. You can't mess with it too much and not make it still good. That's the thing.
I really like Revenge of the Sith.
So do I.
If I was to pick films that would make it through to semi-finals, I would probably pick Revenge of the Sith over some of the. What other ones have we had come through? New Hope.
We've got New Hope, Last Jedi, and Empire Strikes Back so far.
Okay, no, I wouldn't. That's okay. Yeah.
Okay, that the little recheck. You sort of assessed it in your own mind.
I looked at what was in the semi-finals.
Okay. Yeah. All right then.
It can stand head and shoulders above the rest of the losers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd say Revenge of the Sith put in the best show.
It put up the best fight.
It did. Unfortunately, a close one here. The other one's probably won by a couple.
The fans a great game.
It did. Yeah, it was an entertaining show, even if it wasn't. Yeah. Okay. Lovely.
Absolutely.
An admirable performance, but just not good enough on the day.
I find it interesting with this that we are agreeing with Metacritic a lot more.
We are. For this one, we have the top. I clicked the wrong one. No! You can't change it. Can you change it? Oh, you can change it. Oh, thank fuck. You can change it.
Oh, change it. I was going to say, like, due to an error, we now have to. We have to.
If you refresh, it should have changed. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Right. It has changed.
There we go.
Okay. On to game 4, semi-final 1, we have our number 1 seed, A New Hope, versus our number 2 seed, Last Jedi. The 2 big boys, the ones you'd expect to come through.
The heavy hitters.
The big, solid squads, full of top quality. But who do you think comes out on top on the day?
Okay. My vote goes to The Last Jedi.
Oh, David.
Yeah.
David, I think this might be our first
what?
Our first tiebreaker situation.
Oh,
because I'm gonna have to be a bit of a basic bitch. Go
That is-
for it.
that is
We're gonna have to
basic
agree with the
bit.
internet, which is
Ooh.
something I don't readily do.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to go with A New Hope just because it was the opening to my personal statement to get onto a film course at university was I saw A New Hope and fell in love with film. That was the opening line for my reason for wanting to make films. So it has a very
That's the most
distinct place.
bullshit thing I've ever heard in my life.
It is. I promise you.
If I was a lecturer on a course and I read that, I'd tear it up and throw it in the...
Well, I got into uni, so fuck you.
Yeah, no, that's...
But I was like, it was
You
like
know
7.
what? Actually,
I was
that's
like
not
7.
fair. Yeah. When I was 18, I think I'd probably feel differently. So that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm
It
sorry.
still holds
I'm
a special
so
place.
jaded by this point. I really am.
It has a special place in my soul because of it's like the first film that I wanted to know how they made it. Up until that point in my life, I was like, oh, films are just films, they're entertainment. And then when I was about 8 or 9, I watched New Hope and went, I want to know how they did this.
Yeah.
It was my first peek behind the curtain.
Mm.
So it has that moment in my life which
Yeah.
triggered the rest.
I really enjoyed New Hope as a child. It was the only one that I watched.
Okay.
Because it was on TV and we watched it.
Yes.
And then the other ones were also on TV, but we never watched them for some reason.
Okay.
I'm not sure why.
Strange.
I don't know if I ever gave the impression of not liking stuff.
Yeah, maybe. And they went, oh, he doesn't like it, don't put it on.
Yeah.
He clearly likes the first one. Just put the first one again. Just repeat
Yeah,
it.
we'd rewatch the first one.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to know about all the darkness that follows.
No. So
Yeah.
we got what we're going to do. How do we settle this? What do we do, David? We haven't thought about this.
I don't know. I make a strong argument in the case of Last Jedi, and you realise that I'm right.
It's
So
not gonna happen.
if we just assume that happens,
But I have
then
my
Last Jedi
attachment to New
wins.
Hope is so deeply emotional.
Oh,
David.
is it intrinsic?
If you do that, you may break me as a human being. Do you want that on your conscience?
Yeah, fine. I'm fine with that. For the sake of winning this mere semi-final, the winner of which will go up undeniably against.
I don't know what we do, David. If we had another person,
I think
we wouldn't have this situation, would we, David?
No, we wouldn't. In this situation, I think we agreed that we'd revert to the Metacritic score.
We did.
So, as much as it pains me to lose yet another tiebreaker, I'm continuing to succeed to your expert knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will just say that Last Jedi was interesting and
yes,
different.
I love Last Jedi. I defended it from day one. As soon as I saw it, I went, I fucking love this.
Yeah,
I love it.
On my first viewing, and on my second viewing, I absolutely adored it.
Yeah,
I haven't quite worked out what happened in between times.
And clearly, it has grown on people.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. Possibly.
Which is weird because when it came out, there was so much fucking hatred towards it.
Absolutely.
I don't understand why. I never understood why.
It's because it was different.
Yeah, people don't like different, do they? People are dicks. People are dicks.
And there's like,
David, you'll be happy to know the next round, my emotional intrinsic built-in can be disturbed by just a better film. So don't worry.
All right.
So semi-final 2, Empire Strikes Back versus The Force Awakens. A close call. 2 points in it.
Yeah, but not really a close call.
No, but Empire Strikes Back is better.
Yes.
It's
I enjoy Force Awakens more just because it's a more modern film.
Yeah, because
it's pacier and
the spectacle's a bit more, but
yeah. But in terms of just storytelling
and iconicism, like it's so deeply iconic and ingrained in the fabric of our very being.
Absolutely. So Empire wins that one.
Yep, that's fair.
I think The Force Awakens is just slightly too much on the safe side.
Yeah.
Stand chance against something with more daring to it.
It's true. It's very true.
Um,
Well, we go going to the final one. The first 2 Star Wars films ever made are the best 2. Clearly, it has been downhill ever since. Ever since Empire Strikes Back, it's clearly just got worse.
yes. Well, arguably, if you went by the scores from A New Hope, it's always gotten worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's continuously got worse no matter what. It's peaks and troughs from then on.
And you can get better, but you'll never reach that peak again.
They'll never reach the heights. Like I said before, my deep emotional connection can be beaten just by Empire being, I think, empirically.
Nice. Is that a deliberate pun, or is that?
It's a combo of the two, sort of both. It demonstrated my point and was a pun. It's just a better film.
See, I disagree.
Oh, fucking hell!
Just to throw it out there, I think.
What a flippity floppy! What's going on?
I think I prefer A New Hope.
Mental.
Yeah, I think it's.
Well, I'm happy.
A lot of it comes from the fact that A New Hope was the first one, and therefore can get away with being fairly unoriginal.
Yeah.
I don't give Force Awakens the same leeway that I do A New Hope because of that.
Well, I'm happy to, as much as I'm quite happy to see A New Hope win as well. I'm not gonna fight you on that.
No. Yeah.
These 2 are my favourite, and either one winning, I'm happy.
I can't pick between them, to be honest.
It's tricky.
I know I said A New Hope, but every time I think about Empire, I'm like, yeah, but
shit! But
that twist though.
But the Lando bit and the blocks it with his hand, and then he's
yeah, that's good. I'm going to share I'm going to do a share an anecdote about Empire.
Go on.
So I mentioned that the only one we ever saw was A New Hope as a child. And the week following our viewing of A New Hope, we saw Empire Strikes Back advertised.
Okay.
On ITV or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah. They used to show them all the time.
Part of their advert for it was the scene where Darth Vader tells them that he's their father.
Yeah.
And this was before spoiler culture was a thing. But my mum.
But that's because, David, by that point, the film had been out for what, 20 to 25 years.
Yeah, but my mum made the point that there are plenty of children who would. First time.
There are, and I've fallen into deep YouTube holes of watching exactly that happen. Watching children react to that moment is because I can't really remember that. I don't really have that memory because I may have. Honestly, I think I may have had the same thing with you. I think I maybe knew about it before I saw it.
Yeah, I wasn't into the series enough for it to really mean anything to me. Because I watched the advert, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
I don't remember.
Let's see where this goes. like he's such a very contemplative, young
so
child.
Since that moment, I've always known the big twist, and therefore it's never had any impact on me.
That's true.
But I recognise it as a great twist of history.
Oh yeah.
And I think, am I right in saying that Empire has more Vader in it?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's my favourite one then.
There we go.
It's got more Vader, therefore it's better.
I'm happy with either of the options. I think either of these winning. It's when you watch those when you're like, you know what, anything happens, I'm just here to enjoy the fight. I'm not here to shout for any individual. I'm just looking forward to a good old showing.
The thing I like about Star Wars is the iconic villains.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, Luke's a bit annoying.
He is, but he's got the hero problem, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, people.
And he gets balanced out by Han being cynical.
In the previous films, Luke's got a bit of that going.
Yeah, he has. Just not as it's not turned up quite as much.
Yeah.
He's got people around him that offset it enough.
Yeah.
Like that, you can be like, oh, but Han's cool, and Leia kicks ass. So it's like it's fine. We've got people around him that sort of contain his hero moments.
Yeah.
I'm happy for Empire Strikes Back to be the winner. I'm totally happy with that. I will go with that.
I'll give it to Empire. More Vader's
wonderful.
Thing. The reason I really like Star Wars is because of Darth Vader. Like, he's the only one I've ever felt like I could be and enjoy myself. So
fair enough.
More Vader is to win for me. That's as good a reason as any.
Yes, I have allocated them as the champion. If you refresh, it should come up.
Nay.
Yay!
Empire Strikes Back.
Bach.
Bah.
Aha. Yes.
Brilliant.
Right.
Okay. Now we get
Wonderful.
to see me doing some things.
Yes.
Right.
Just a FYI to the champion, you go into settings and click show champion/winner
Okay.
when you get there.
I'll remember that.
Yes.
Okay. Which one do you want to do first? Bond films or MCU?
Well, going from the how so far, I've done it how I introduced it, so it would be MCU next.
Okay.
The third finger.
There we go. Right. So
Here we are.
Marvel Cinematic Universe. You can see what's coming up.
Okay. What? Oh.
So yeah, it's interesting.
It's a real mix.
So
now this is the only one that we have expressed opinions on in a sort of list before.
Yeah.
I can't remember the order of that list.
I
Vaguely.
See, I'm pretty sure our number one was Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Which has not entered the top 8.
Really? Is that so? Is Captain America at the bottom of that Civil War?
Civil War's in there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just go game by game.
Yeah. So game one. Black Panther, our number 1 seed with 88, against Doctor Strange, the number 8 seed on
Doctor Strange slides into number 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm judging by my surprise on that. I do like Doctor Strange, but Black Panther's better.
Doctor Strange had some originality and interesting things going for it.
It did. Visually, very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where it goes in the sequel.
Mm-hmm. In terms of storytelling, though, Black Panther blows it.
It's far more interesting. Yeah, far more original, far more captivating, and just better. The Doctor Strange story is Iron Man, but with magic. Yeah.
I mean, you can say that.
And there's nothing wrong with that because they're sort of pitted against each other, despite being very similar people.
Yeah.
They're cut from the same cloth, almost, in that they start off as self-centered, arrogant geniuses, then have a traumatic experience, realize they shouldn't be that anymore, and become a hero. It's the same arc.
Yeah.
And that's not Doctor Strange's fault because that's a very overly used superhero arc. They're not always like that, but that's a used one.
Yeah.
So it's not, I think for coming out after Iron Man hurts it a little bit. If Doctor Strange had been the first MCU movie, it probably would be rated high, but it wasn't. But yeah, Black Panther wins.
Yeah.
Far superior film.
I agree.
In various ways.
Good. Game number
Lovely.
2. We have Iron Man, our number 2 seed. Number 2 Iron Man.
Yeah. Wow, that is held up.
Yeah. So it's 79.
Do you think with the amount of time it's been on the internet, eventually that score surely gets
diminished?
Yeah, but with the progress of time and the amount of people who must have expressed their opinion on it, surely by now you think that number would have slowed down, but it's held.
But anybody who expresses an opinion about Iron Man says it's still one of the best.
Yeah, that's true.
Honest.
So, and I'm inclined, in this matchup, I am inclined to agree.
Well, I mean, this is...
But not strongly. It's not a definite.
It's a classic tiebreaker because I really enjoy Spider-Man.
I love Homecoming. I think Homecoming is possibly my second favourite Spider-Man film.
Is that behind Spider-Man 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think it's a better film. Spider-Man Homecoming is a better film, but it's my second. But Iron Man's really fucking good.
Iron Man is really fucking good.
It's a close one,
Yeah. So.
And Iron Man's also an important part of Homecoming. Like he's.
Yes.
So it shows the impact that Tony Stark / Iron Man has had.
Tony Stang.
Yeah, Tony Stang.
I'm gonna.
You know what? I'm gonna come round to you on this one. I think.
I was just gonna try and tempt you with actually a good villain.
That's true.
Something that Iron Man sorely lacks.
Yeah.
They've
got a good actor in to do it.
You don't need a good villain, but
yeah.
Just Michael Keaton was so good in that.
He was good.
And the scene in the car.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It's
a fucking scene out of the fucking Sopranos.
Yeah, exactly. It was, and you at that point you feel just how much of a teenager
Yeah,
this guy
yeah,
is.
yeah, I agree.
So good.
Yeah,
It,
I'm.
I just,
You didn't need to sway me, but you have.
felt. I know, but I've never felt that Spider-Man was a kid more than I have in that
Yeah.
film. I think that for me that was really important.
Yeah.
And that wins it for me.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Go for it.
Okay.
Bit of an upset. Some people will disagree with that, I think.
Oh, well, I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't want to piss people off.
That's true. That's the whole point.
We have an absolute corker
Oh,
around 3.
they're so. You know what?
The
The thing about the MCU one is that their films can be so vastly different.
Yeah.
And that can create problems because it's harder to compare the two. But I think, if I'm going to be honest with myself, Ragnarok. I prefer Ragnarok.
Well, for those that are listening and not watching, Game 3.
Yes, of course.
It's our number 3 seed, Avengers Endgame, versus our number 6 seed, Thor Ragnarok.
Ragnarok wins it for me.
You think?
Yeah. If that's my gut reaction, and I'm going by it. I fucking love Endgame, and it made me cry. But I could rewatch Thor Ragnarok more. Endgame is something that I'd have to watch at least the Avengers films and then watch that. I couldn't just watch it by itself.
I think Endgame was such a rousing success.
Yeah.
That I think Endgame did more. But ultimately, Thor Ragnarok's it's much easier to watch.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
And I feel
it's
Ragnarok is fun. Yeah.
And that's what. Then this comes back into what you were saying about what are you in the mood for?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm in the mood for something easy and fun, then Thor Ragnarok will win every time.
Yeah.
But just in terms of actual cinematic stuff, I would have to say Endgame wins it.
Yeah.
It just achieves so much more.
It does.
That's not Ragnarok's fault. It didn't set out.
No, because it didn't. No, Ragnarok very much sets out of being a
Yeah.
far more nuanced and altered piece of cinema, which is fine.
Yeah.
And that's what it wanted to be, and it succeeded that.
Yeah.
At no end. But I know what you mean. In terms of Endgame's just more of an event. It's more of an achievement.
Yeah, I think
more work went in, more effort was put in.
Yeah. Either way, it's going to be a real shame to kick one of these guys out.
Oh no! Either that goes is going to be a crying shame.
Yeah. But yeah, my vote just goes to Endgame because it just did more.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna vote for Ragnarok and then let the Metacritic decide.
Okay.
That way, it still got a vote. It still had someone fighting its corner, but ultimately it lost.
Honestly, I love Ragnarok so much. It's easily my favorite Thor film.
Oh yeah.
And it made me excited to see more Thor.
Yeah.
Which nobody ever felt.
No one thought that was going to happen.
Before Ragnarok came along, nobody liked Thor much.
No.
He was a bit of fun. He was there, but he wasn't.
And he was sort of like sometimes the Deus Machina of the things. He'd come in and just be strong, and they'd win because he's there.
Yeah. I mean, the one of my favorite sounds in Age of Ultron is him just going.
Yeah.
It's just. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Give it to Endgame. But that's a sad call.
No, it's a very sad call because I'd say I'd probably put Thor Ragnarok above these two. If I'm
that's true. But that's how the seeding system works.
Yeah.
It would have made it further on any other day.
Yeah.
Just luck of the draw on that one.
All right. So game 4, we have Guardians of the Galaxy with a 76 score versus Captain America: Civil War with a 75 score. So very close.
Extremely close. And my vote would go for Guardians of the Galaxy. I have some issues with Civil War. I've always had issues with Civil War.
Go on, elaborate.
It wasn't a Captain America movie. It was an Avengers movie.
True.
And I don't side with Captain America in any regard. So that the whole film sort of frames you to do that. The whole
film,
film
yeah.
wants you to side with him, and I don't. Therefore, I find the film slightly frustrating to watch.
I'm not sure the film wanted you to side with him.
But it shows more of his opinion. It shows it frames
just
him.
follows him because that's what the film needs to do.
Yeah.
I think.
So for that reason,
it's like, but you just because you follow a character doesn't mean that character's right.
I agree.
There are plenty of films out there where you follow a protagonist.
The wrong character.
Yeah.
Infinity War being a prime example.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
But
that's my defense against your argument.
That's fair enough. Don't defend away.
It's a cracking film.
Yeah.
Gromit. But
don't get me wrong, the fight at the end of Civil War is great. It's great fun.
Yes. I think that is most of the reason that people wanted to see that film.
Yeah. The trailer was basically just a supercut of that fight.
Yeah.
And a few bits beforehand of them going, Tony, I don't agree. Oh, I don't agree. It was just them having a little bit of a fight, and then the fight.
Want to punch your teeth.
Yeah, that was essentially it the whole time.
Yeah, I think that simplifies Civil War a bit, but I do agree with you.
No, that is very much boiling it down to its base elements.
Yeah. I think Civil War's great, but Guardians of the Galaxy is more
original.
It's consistent.
Yeah, and it was new and exciting and a fucking gamble.
Oh yeah,
and it paid off.
Love a good gamble.
And it fucking paid off, and it set it almost set up a whole new universe within the universe that had already been set up, which is tricky to do because you could lose people there quite easily.
Absolutely.
But I'd go with Guardians on this one.
We're giving the Winter.
If Civil War was Winter Soldier, we'd have more of a fight there.
Oh, we definitely would.
There'd be far more of a discussion.
Well, it's what we were saying earlier. Winter Soldier didn't make it into this list.
Mad.
Which is mental.
Yeah. It's
like flying around the lower leagues or whatever.
Yeah. Crazy.
Sports terms.
Yeah, it's been sports. Okay, we got my Guardians. Okay.
There we are. So we have our semi-finalists.
Wow, interesting.
Semi-final one, Black Panther versus
that's a big old gap there, isn't it?
Yeah. So Black Panther's on 88. I mean, 88 for our number one seed. Number two only has 79.
Yeah.
I say only 79. 79 is a great score.
Yeah, but
88 is miles ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. Whereas with Star Wars, we had like a four-way split. Clearly, Black Panther's just voted far higher than. That is crazy.
It's a great film, but I wouldn't say it was that much higher than any other.
No, I'd say fair to give Black Panther an 88, but I'd say bring everyone else's score up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But what do we think? Black Panther.
This one's tricky.
Yeah, it is.
They came out in the same year.
Yeah. Yes. Well, they came out within a year of each other.
Yeah, within a year
of each other. Was really early 2018.
Yeah.
And was late-ish.
Yeah.
2017. So.
It's a tricky one because they're very different. If Endgame and Thor Ragnarok were different, these two are another level of different.
Yeah. So here's where I stand. Personally, I prefer Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
But on a technical and on a storytelling level, I think Black Panther is much more complex and deals with many more issues.
Yeah, it made more of a statement. It made more of an impact.
It did it so well.
Yeah.
So
it did it without losing any of its comic book excitement and majesty, but like.
Honestly, anytime Black Panther devolved into comic booky stuff, I almost got bored.
Yeah, it's true.
Because of how good everything else was.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that the comic book elements were bad. It was just I was like, I kind of want to hear more about this politics.
But it being like a comic book film and being a sort of more heavy hitting film, it didn't like water down either of those things.
Yeah.
It didn't replace one with the other. It mixed them in such a good way that made it the film it is. And I think for that reason, I'm gonna have to have a Black Panther on that one.
Yeah, I'll side with you as well.
Yeah,
I think we argued ourselves into it.
Yeah. Still, Homecoming did well.
Yeah, semi-finalist.
Pretty good.
Beat Ragnarok.
Yeah, incredible.
We're going to say that about all of these. Right.
Oh,
Avengers Endgame, semi-final 2 versus Guardians of the Galaxy.
only 2 points different. Again, that is impressive.
Yeah.
On Guardian's side, that is. I think they both should be a bit higher, but
probably
to have a 2 point gap between the highest earning film of all time, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy did well. It's always been an underdog. That's why I'm always.
I'm always inclined to support it because of that.
Tell you what, Avengers Endgame was missing though. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
only had one of them, and then he felt
out
of place without the rest of the Guardians around.
It's true, yeah.
I suppose that was the point, to be honest.
Yeah, it was part of his. He was trying to get them back, wasn't he? That was his.
Yeah.
He was a. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't, honestly.
This one's very tricky.
I'm having a tougher time with this one somehow.
Yeah, because they haven't even got like a lot of. They're different, but not too different. And the same, but they're not too the same.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, David. I think Endgame. It's got the same. I think Guardians of the Galaxy has very much the same argument that Ragnarok does against Endgame, in that it depends on your mood.
Yeah.
It's very much the same. The Ragnarok mood and the Guardians of the Galaxy mood are very much the same mood.
Yes.
So then, do we fall back on the same argument we used last time? Do we say that just for the pure scale and magnitude?
Well, okay. Since we're talking about that, I prefer Ragnarok to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
So by that argument, Endgame wins for me.
Yeah, by that definition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think putting it that way actually makes
that would be doing a disservice to Ragnarok. It would have lost for no reason.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
So
unless we disagree with my logic,
that's sound. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, let's go with Endgame.
Honestly, it's an answer to our dilemma. So I think
we found a solution that we like rather than let's go with Endgame.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, Endgame's a great film.
Yeah. It is.
I've never had more cinema than I have.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely a cinema event of the generation. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Which brings us to our final.
Wow.
And I'm
10-point difference.
Yeah, and I'm sure people have worked it out, but it is our number 1 seed, Black Panther,
3 seed
at 88, versus our number 3 seed, Avengers Endgame.
Again, we're agreeing with the internet.
Yeah.
Quite heavily here.
So far.
Harry Potter's the only one we've done any sort of major upset.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have a major upset already because Winter Soldier's not even on the list.
Yeah, true. If Winter Soldier,
that is the upset of this.
That is the upset
tournament. So in this one, Endgame wins it for me fairly easily.
Yeah, it does. It does, doesn't it? But it's not because Black Panther's bad in any way.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that Black Panther didn't really do for me was the action.
Yeah,
it had some cool.
The fighting, like the 2 waterfall fight scenes, were incredible for their sort of emotional impact.
Mm-hmm.
And they're well choreographed fight scenes as well. The water was cool and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The final fight scene in Black Panther's a little bit, nah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I always think about when you talk about.
I felt they were building up to more than eventually happened.
Yeah, there's quite a cool scene in the casino.
That bit's cool, yeah.
That bit's pretty fun.
Andy Serkis is always good value.
Yes.
But yeah, the climax, apart from between Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan, because I can't remember the characters' names.
Killmonger and T'Challa.
Apart from their fight scene, which was cool because it was emotionally driven.
Yeah.
The actual end fight scene is a bit blur.
Yeah. Yeah. I found that the armies of Wakanda were much more interestingly used in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Another one that didn't make this list.
Interesting. Yes. Yeah, and I think
So-
for that reason, Endgame managed to have a massive, huge, gigantic fight scene, but with the emotional impact of
Yeah.
it combined the two things. So
You know what?
Yeah.
Endgame had some good action packed throughout. I think the fun part of the action in Endgame was that it was chaotic
yes,
because they were inserting themselves in previous bits, so
Yeah.
it was going all over the place.
it's fun. It's a whole
Yeah.
bunch of fun
Yeah.
and a whole bunch of sad.
Yes. All the emotions.
All the emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's go for Endgame.
Yeah.
I feel like a
Our best
basic
MCU
motherfucker.
film is our basic bitch Avengers.
Yeah,
Uh,
get those Starbucks in because we basic bitches.
yeah.
Yeah, and click that. There we go.
Get that.
We've got our champion.
Champion.
So far for me, the
Avengers
champion
Endgame.
that I feel, so far for me, it's the champion I feel less passionate about.
Yeah. I think it. Yeah.
The winner so far is maybe not my favourite, which might show itself in the future
Yeah.
when we do the final bracket.
I mean, out of the ones that we had, would you agree it's the best one?
I'd say it's definitely if someone else did this and it made it, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
like it's always in for a shout.
Yeah. For me, the
So-
only one in this list that possibly stands a chance against it is Ragnarok.
Yeah, and it beat
And
that
we-
first
we
off.
already- yeah.
So
Yeah, it just feels like after that it was running a bit unopposed.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, then.
It's difficult. There are
It's-
so many
it's tricky.
good films.
Yep.
Like the previous two, Star Wars and Harry Potter, there are some definite clunkers out there.
Yeah,
That's
and
very
also it's
difficult.
following one sort of vaguely one long. I mean, Harry Potter more so. Star Wars a bit more loose with the term chronologically because there's a lot of gaps.
Yes.
But
There's
it's
also-
following one plot, whereas this one and the next one, even though, but again, James Bond's just a little bit more. They're so vastly different that it's tricky to do. So that's why MCU is always tricky to compare. But we did it. We got it. We can't change it now.
I think the thing with this one as well, we're using the top 8,
Yeah,
whereas in Star Wars and Harry Potter, we were pretty.
all of them.
It was most of them, yeah,
Yeah.
or all of them.
Yeah,
They were
most
going
all
to
of them.
include the clunkers.
Whereas this is only about a third.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, and the top third at that.
Yeah.
We should have included some clunkers in there just to have fun with it.
just to throw it in, see if
Yeah.
anyone will make any
It's like,
shockers.
I wonder what will win between Thor Ragnarok and Thor the Dark World. You know.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, our MCU
Next one.
is Avengers Endgame.
I'm excited about this one because you did this one, and I'm not entirely sure if I've seen them all. So far, I've seen everything.
So James
look.
Bond. There's some interesting ones on there.
I
So-
think I have. Yeah, I think I've seen
Yeah.
them all. I think we're okay.
Game 1 is our number 1 seed Goldfinger.
Goldfinger was number 1.
Yeah, with 87.
Okay.
Number 8 seed Thunderball with 74.
Okay.
So you've seen both of these,
I
yeah?
have seen both of them. I have not got the strongest memory of either of them.
Okay. I make it easy for you.
Been a
Goldfinger's
while.
the better one.
Yeah, I was going to settle on that anyway because I remember more of Goldfinger.
Yeah.
And Goldfinger's got more of more iconic moments in it.
Goldfinger's very classic vibe.
And Goldfinger's got a better song,
Yep.
which it may come down to that. For some of mine, may come down to the quality of the song.
Well, they're the bits you remember. That's
True.
It's become very much a bit of it.
And the car that he has that sometimes decides it for me.
Well, Goldfinger's got the classic car.
Yeah, which helps.
That's the mark with the ejector seat. Thunderball's got an interesting car. It's got water cannons on it.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I remember
yeah.
that one. Yeah, a bit
Yeah.
weird, but fun.
No, it's fun. And he uses a jetpack in it.
Yeah, true.
That's
Okay,
very
more
fun.
Thunderball is coming back to me now.
Yeah. Then there's a massive underwater fight scene at the end where everybody carries exactly one harpoon. And once they've used it, have to resort to slitting each other's
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
CO2, not CO, oxygen tanks
Yeah.
with knives. That's all very good. Some very cheesy rips noises every
Yeah.
time somebody does it. Fucking great. The sharks in Thunderball.
There's sharks in a lot of James Bond films.
Yeah, that's very
Let's be honest.
Goldfinger's
But yeah,
Goldfinger's got him wearing a duck on his head as a disguise as
Yeah.
he slips into an area,
I remember
which I
that
think
bit.
that's hilarious. Yeah. No, Goldfinger wins.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
just remember,
I'm
you just
inclined to
remember
agree.
Goldfinger a lot
Yeah.
more than
it's
Thunder.
far more iconic in that regard.
Yeah.
I would definitely put Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to remind that Thunderball's actually got some good stuff in it.
No. I mean, it got number 8, so it's out of all the 20 something. What is it? 24.
Yes.
It's the biggest of all of our options so far.
Yeah.
Only by a couple, but it's the biggest.
Yeah. I mean, both of them have got some pretty shady stuff in as well.
Of course.
I don't know
These
if
are
you
also
want to dwell on the shady stuff. But...
Yeah, some of these are also going to be the oldest films that we're assessing. I mean, Star Wars comes in late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
But some of these are going to be, 60s, 70s. So
Goldfinger is 64 and Thunderball is 65.
Exactly. Are they next to each other?
Yeah.
In my head, they weren't. In my head, there was a bigger gap. But again, I don't know the order of these things.
No.
But yeah, Goldfinger
was the third one.
Okay. Yeah.
The fourth one.
God, so look at the list. There's a lot of early ones, aren't there?
Yeah.
Early and late ones is generally the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
A couple of bends, a couple
the
of.
The first 4 are all in here.
Yeah.
The first 4 films are all in here, and then it's a couple of later ones.
Yeah.
That's game 1. Goldfinger wins.
Goldfinger wins it. Game 1.
Game
Wonderful.
2. We have From Russia with Love, our number 2 seed.
Okay.
Which is the second film.
Yes.
Against GoldenEye, which is the first
GoldenEye.
Brosnan film from '95.
With Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
One of his best deaths.
Oh, definitely. He gets
brutal
dropped.
Death.
He gets
brutal.
dropped from a satellite, and then said satellite crushes him.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Yeah. And let's not forget Alan Cumming as well.
I fucking love Alan Cumming. Love that man.
Who survives the satellite crashing, only to be frozen in space. Yep. In his. Yeah.
What a fucking film! That sentence fucking sums that film up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Survives the satellite crushing and then gets frozen in space.
he
Bond.
He believes himself invincible, I believe.
Yeah.
Only to be frozen in. Yeah. It's good. It's campy Bond.
It is. Yeah. The height of campy Bond.
Yeah. They brought it back.
Yeah.
From Russia with Love, though, not to be underestimated.
No. Not at all. I definitely remember less From Russia with Love.
A lot of it takes place on, I believe it's the Orient Express. But
the train one. Okay,
yeah. Train journey.
Yeah.
And he actually does a lot of spy work in this one.
True.
Which,
a lot more.
He doesn't do spy stuff that often.
He's a lot less shooting, a lot more actual espionage.
Yeah, there's some great espionage in From Russia with Love.
Which is admirable.
He meets one of his colleagues getting on the train, but unbeknownst to him and beknownst to the audience, his colleague has been infiltrated by a Russian agent, and he has to work it out somehow. I can't remember. I think he gives himself away by ordering the wrong wine at dinner.
Something silly about that.
And then they have a fantastic fight scene in the train.
Yeah.
In using a trick suit.
Of course. What else?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some great stuff in From
Those convenient gadgets are always my favourite.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For me, GoldenEye wins it.
Yeah, for me too.
From Russia with Love.
GoldenEye might have been the first Bond film I ever saw.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Because it came out just before I was born, I think.
It's a favourite of TV as well.
Yeah.
Because most people, we were talking about it earlier. Most people's early Bond knowledge comes from watching them on TV.
Yeah. At Christmas or Easter.
Yeah. And GoldenEye was definitely a favourite of them back in the early 2000s or something. So.
Yeah. Go GoldenEye. I'm happy with that.
It's worth mentioning. I did a top 5 list for our blog.
You did?
So, yeah.
I can't remember it, David. Remind us.
Do you want me to remind you now, or should I tell you after?
Do it. Maybe do it afterwards.
Yeah. We'll see how it lines up.
Yeah. See if it has any credence.
So GoldenEye goes through.
Next, 2 gold boys. We've got 2 golden ones in the 10 minutes.
Here we are. Game 3.
Wow. Moonraker made it in.
I know. I have absolutely no idea how Moonraker has managed.
That's insane. What the audacity of Moonraker?
Yeah. So Moonraker is our number 6 seed.
Number 6. It's not even the
Yeah.
6th best Bond film. Is fucking Moonraker.
According to Metacritic,
Well,
yes.
they're wrong. They're wrong.
Have you seen Moonraker?
I have.
Is it not the most bonkers?
I laughed wholeheartedly through most of it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Meaning that you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, but maybe for not the right reasons, though, David.
I think you enjoy it for the same reasons everybody loves that.
Because it's like a
it's very
fever dream
for Moonraker being. It's the most James Bond of the James Bond films, and it's therefore ridiculous and hilarious.
That's true. That's true.
However, my vote goes to Skyfall.
Yeah, I love Skyfall.
It's the number 3 seed.
Skyfall is great. I love Skyfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun considering Moonraker, but in my heart of hearts,
no, you can't do it. You can't bring yourself to do it in any sort of serious situation.
Of course not. Well, on the list though.
Yeah, fucking well played, Moonraker.
I've no idea where it came from.
No.
It beats GoldenEye. What?
Yeah.
What?
That's madness. That is madness. Well, they've both got space in them. Apparently, space does well with Bond audience. They love space.
Yeah, they love a good bit of space.
Love this space.
Yeah. Lovely.
Right,
so
game 4.
Final one, game 4.
Oh.
We've got Casino Royale in the number 4 space versus the number 5, Dr. No. So the
the original versus the reboot, essentially.
Yeah. So it's the first of each section.
Yeah.
If you
And one of them that should have been this, I assume this is the 2000 and something Casino Royale and not the Peter Sellers.
We can specify.
Not an official Bond film.
No, I only went for official ones, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Mostly because I haven't seen the non-official ones.
Well, Casino Royale, the original, it's played for laughs.
Yeah.
It's not really played to be a serious spy film. Out of these two,
have you seen Dr. No?
Dr. No is the one I've seen least recently.
Yeah.
And remember the least about. Casino Royale is the film I've seen most recently and remember the most about.
Yeah. Casino Royale gets the vote for me.
Yeah.
I'm not that big a fan of Dr. No, to be honest.
No.
I think people give it credit because it started the genre.
Yeah, it's the first one, so it's
franchise.
Got that for it. But
I argue that Goldfinger started the franchise properly. To be honest.
And Casino Royale restarted, reinvented it.
Yes.
And brought it back into the.
It should have continued on to glorious sunlit upland.
Yeah, it took a dip, didn't it?
Yes.
And then tried to claw back.
And I think Quantum of Solace had issues because of the writer's strike.
True.
I think that's what went wrong.
Yeah.
They certainly talk about it when they're talking about the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not the only problem with it. The writing's poor.
And we cannot blame Casino Royale for Quantum of Solace's problems.
Not at all. Not at all. If anything, because of the quality of Casino Royale, you can skip Quantum of Solace and still it's fine.
Absolutely.
Casino Royale's fucking brilliant. I love that film.
Yeah, Casino Royale's good.
The action's top quality.
Yeah, there are some outstanding.
And the whole poker thing, because that's in your mind. It's one of the images when you think of Bond, him at a table playing some sort of gambling thing. It's sort of
the moment where he comes back into the game after getting a heart attack, and he says,
and she's like, "Fucking what?"
That last hand nearly killed me. Fucking yes.
Yeah.
It's so good. All right, Casino Royale wins it.
Casino
Sorry, Dr. No. Dr. No doesn't get off from me. It really doesn't. It should.
No.
It's all right.
Wonderful.
All right.
On to the semis.
The
two golden boys.
Goldfinger versus GoldenEye. So we've got the gold films.
Apart from the Man with the Golden
Gun. Not including Man with the Golden Gun.
Yes.
massive apologies to Chris.
Sorry for. Yeah. Oh, of course. Shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
The only good thing about that film, of course. But,
yeah, if we were doing like Bond villains, he's got a fucking shout.
Maybe we would.
Mate, one day.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong opinion about either of these winning.
That's unfortunate because neither do I.
So either could win, and I wouldn't be upset or angry about it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't. I'm inclined to lean towards Goldfinger slightly more.
Yes, I would just going to say the same.
Yeah.
Goldfinger's, it
set the tone.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's got more iconic scenes as well.
Yeah.
As much as GoldenEye's got some fantastic bloody stuff in it, like a tank chase through St. Petersburg, or whichever. I think it's St. Petersburg.
A Russian city.
Yes. Yeah. A Russian city that isn't Moscow, so it's got to be St. Petersburg.
Most likely.
Yeah. That's brilliant. And then, yeah. And Sean Bean's a great villain, but
he is.
Goldfinger's he edges out.
He does.
I think he's.
Yeah. Go with Goldfinger. A tentative consensus between the two of us.
Yeah, I think
not a strong win, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, Goldfinger's. It's just a classic.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. Go on, Goldfinger.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna contest that.
Yeah, I really like GoldenEye, but yeah. Interesting thing to note: GoldenEye and Casino Royale, same director.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a gap as well.
Responsible. Yeah. So that guy's responsible for two of the best Bond films, and the first of each iteration, I suppose.
Yeah.
Those two iterations.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. No, it's good. Good. Right, Goldfinger goes through to the final.
Lovely. What's the song for GoldenEye?
The song?
I can't remember the song for GoldenEye.
It's the Tina Turner one.
Oh. But didn't she do a few?
No,
she did one.
Feels like she should have done.
I think she did more than one, but she may not.
Nah, she's just the one. I can promise you that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Feels like she should have done more, but perhaps she didn't.
Well, she probably should have done. The two that followed were awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, to be fair, they started off with really bad titles. Like, Tomorrow Never Dies doesn't really lend itself to it.
No, it doesn't.
Same with The World Is Not Enough. It's just...
Yeah, that's maybe the worst.
What, song or film?
Bond title.
Yeah. They were really scraping the barrel with stuff. Yeah. Like, it's mentioned in one of the earlier films that it's his family motto. And they were like, oh, use that.
I'll do that. Works.
The fans will get excited about that.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they did.
No.
Anyway, semi-final 2.
Oh.
Skyfall
Daniel Craig boys.
Skyfall versus Casino Royale. 1
point in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make the argument here that Casino Royale is a better Bond movie.
Okay.
Because Skyfall is a little bit more. I don't know. If you think of Bond, I think more of Casino Royale, as in sort of having the sort of classic tropes, not tropes, but the iconic things of it.
Casino Royale made a name for itself by upending a lot of the tropes.
True.
Whereas Skyfall actually brought a lot of them back.
Yeah, but Skyfall sort of revisited them in like a weird, grungy way.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I don't know. They're both very good.
They are both excellent films. My vote goes to Skyfall.
Okay.
Quite heavily.
Okay.
Not because I dislike Casino Royale.
No, not at all. No,
because
it's to the semi-finals.
Skyfall for me was the epitome of the Bond series.
Okay.
It is the perfect blend of the past campiness and grittier aesthetic that Casino
True,
Royale.
yeah. Sort of like an amalgamation of all of it.
I think we needed a Casino Royale to modernize it, and
then
Skyfall
Skyfall to sort of
brought back the bits that worked from previous iterations.
Yeah, no, you know what? You've swayed me with that description.
If Callum was here, he'd be hissing at us.
He would, but he's not.
No.
So fuck him.
Yeah, he loves Casino Royale.
He does, and rightly so.
According to him, it's dope.
Yes.
I asked him for a quote for that blog post, and that's what I got from him.
It's dope.
It's dope. Cool.
Okay, let's go for Skyfall.
Skyfall goes through to the final.
And a better song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Casino Royale's all right, the song.
Yeah, just not...
They didn't fall into the trap of using the title Casino Royale.
Yeah, because that would have been awful. That's not a good title for a song, that's why.
They just made one up,
yeah.
Which is much better. All right, Here's the final. It's...
big final.
Yeah.
Big final.
Number 1 seed, Goldfinger, against the number 3 seed, Skyfall.
Again, we've agreed quite heavily with the overall consensus here.
Definitely.
Not entirely, because if we did agree, it'd be 1 and 2, but it's not worked out that way.
Yeah.
From Russia with Love would have been.
Yeah, From Russia with Love again. Yeah.
Was he your 1 and 2 for your blog post?
They were. They were 1 and 2 on my blog post.
Okay.
So.
In what order, David?
Well, I mean, I sort of give it away by placing my vote with Skyfall. So.
Okay. I agree with you on that one.
So.
Yeah, I think Skyfall wins.
Just because it's modern. And I think
it does have it going for it.
That's really unfair.
Yeah, to be fair, the gap between these two films is, 50 years? No, nearly 50 years.
It is it's 48 years.
48 years. So that's a slight unfair judgment to bring by, but it does impact the decision.
I think Skyfall had to do more to keep it happy.
True.
And it succeeded, whereas Goldfinger had a pretty blank slate, to be honest.
Yeah.
It took a lot, and
true.
Skyfall's got much more filmmaking technique behind it.
Yeah, certainly.
Like cinematography in that film is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on about lots.
I'm sure you could, and you did. See the blog post.
Yeah.
Referred to blog post.
Yeah, absolutely.
From a few months back. It's not nearly a year now, isn't it? It's got to be a year.
No, it was
longer.
I did it. I did it because I thought we were going to run out of content in lockdown.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It feels like ages ago though.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
Mad.
Anyway, Skyfall wins.
Skyfall wins.
We disagreed with the internet as well. That's how
we did, which is nice to know.
Yeah. There we are.
Right. Now we've got to build our final Champion of Champions bracket. Welcome back. We have come to the final tournament. The winner of each bracket has come to this final Champion of Champions to decide the greatest franchise film of all time.
Oof.
Definitively final of any franchise that has 8 or more movies. Quite a specific area.
Yeah, very.
But it's what we're here to do. The answers that we need, questions that we need answers to, we've done it. So, we had the winner of each bracket. Prisoner of Azkaban, the winner of the Harry Potter bracket. Avengers Endgame, the winner of the MCU bracket. Empire Strikes Back, the winner of the Star Wars bracket. And then Skyfall, the winner of the Bond bracket. We've seeded them again based on their performances. And this is what we've come up with. So we've got Game 1, Prisoner of Azkaban versus Avengers Endgame. David.
Hey.
This is where it gets tricky, isn't it? Because now they're
really
very different.
Instead of ranking one film against a similar film in the same...
Two completely different...
entirely different flavours.
Yeah.
My point goes to Endgame.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Yeah. Interestingly, I believe Endgame has the lowest Metacritic
really
of any of the 4 in this final.
Ooh.
So,
Thing is, I said earlier, Prisoner of Azkaban is not only my favorite Harry Potter film, it is one of my favorite films.
absolutely.
So I can't not.
I mean, you can.
I can't not vote for it, David.
I'm pretty sure you can.
I can't.
All you have to do is admit that Avengers Endgame is also a very good film.
It is,
Yeah.
but not as good.
Strong, very strong disagree.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Uh,
I thought you would.
And again, this isn't to diminish Prisoner of Azkaban.
No,
It's
of course not.
a
And
great
I'm not
film,
diminishing
but-
Endgame either.
And Endgame just has so much more going for it. In my opinion.
Mm. This very chalk and cheese, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to actually compare them on any level. Apart from the time travel elements, they both.
Ooh. Yeah.
They both.
Okay, so we found a common element.
That is one
Which
common
one
element.
does time travel better?
Cleaner. Prisoner of Azkaban does it cleaner.
Prisoner of Azkaban contrives itself to make it cleaner. Avengers Endgame is
when dealing with high concepts, you sort of have to do that, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But Endgame also is also one of the better time travel. It that still explains itself very well, and is sound compared to some time travel films. It does have a few niggles.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not going to get into now because we're going to turn into like a Tumblr page.
Oh no,
and
we don't go over that any more than we have already.
Yeah. I can't. I have to vote for Prisoner of Azkaban, David. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I can't shift from Endgame.
No, I can't shift from Prisoner of Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban does too many. It's got too much. There's too much time in Prisoner of Azkaban.
What do you mean?
It makes time for weird things like Hermione checking out her hair.
Yeah, but I like that.
I can't give up on that. It's very un-Hermione.
I think I'm far more emotionally invested in the Harry Potter characters than I am the MCU characters.
No, I mean, the same but opposite.
Yeah, I relate far more with people to them.
Adolescents discovering new unheard of powers than you are with adults discovering unheard of powers.
Yeah, basically, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, okay. I can't shift, David, so we're gonna have to fall back.
Again, like we said, we have to fall back on the Metacritic scores, meaning that Prisoner of Azkaban with 8.
I mean, I can't pretend I'm not happy, but this was a tough decision. I understand.
Well, we knew it was going to be tough when we came in.
We knew. I think at this point, the other ones we can sort of say, yeah, that is the best film. This is sort of more of an exercise in what we can do. Like, this isn't to be taken that seriously.
So, Prisoner of Azkaban with 82 beats Avengers Endgame with 78.
Well, they're pretty close score-wise. That's not bad.
Yeah, that
sort of works.
So the MCU can't even make the final.
No, but it could get third. It could get third. In fact, it might get third.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Here we go. Game 2. Empire Strikes Back versus Skyfall.
You went first last time, so I'm going to go first this time.
Okay. Go for it.
My vote goes for Empire Strikes Back.
I mean, my vote goes for Skyfall.
Yeah, and I totally understand why.
Yes, I am much more of a Bond fan than I am a Star Wars.
I'm literally sat here with a Stormtrooper t-shirt on, so you can,
Yeah, and I'm sat here in a
tuxedo and a martini.
Well, these pajamas look. Tuxedo-looking pajamas.
They're very Bond looking. They're very Bond. Bond would wear very similar pajamas. I feel.
I imagine Bond would wear the pajama suits that Neil Patrick Harris has.
Yes, the complete suit, but in silk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to. I have far more love and and fonder memories and all sorts of things attached to Empire Strikes Back.
Ugh.
And I think it's also the better film.
No. No, I can get on board with what you're saying.
You know what, David? We wouldn't be having this issue. You know what? If other people fucking turned
up to the podcast.
Our opinions would just be two in the sea of opinions.
You just want Sam to be there because you know he'd go for Empire. And
I think Callum would as well.
I have a shrewd suspicion Callum would go for Skyfall. So.
No, I don't think he would because I think he prefers Casino Royale first off.
He's so pissed that Skyfall got through instead of Casino Royale.
He would have been bitter.
All right, fine. Empire wins.
Oh, I'm so sorry, David. You've lost purely on numbers, and I feel bad.
Yeah, that's okay. Numbers have never been in.
Blame the internet, not me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like an underdog. What can I say?
You can blame the internet for everything.
Yeah. Skyfall and Avengers Endgame, the underdogs.
Apparently.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
We've got to do third place first.
We've got to do third place first, which is Avengers Endgame versus Skyfall.
Your turn to go first.
Shit. Hard.
These are the two that you fought for, so this is really tricky for you.
No, these are my two favourite franchise films of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. MCU, I'm still pretty torn up about which one's the best one. But
yeah, true.
I enjoyed Endgame more in the cinema.
Okay.
I would still enjoy it more watching it, just because of the epic scale of it.
Sure.
And Skyfall,
I'm gonna just.
It's also great.
David, I'm not gonna have an opinion. I'm gonna let you decide this.
Well, thanks for that. No, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts as well.
I would personally, I'd go for Endgame.
Okay.
But it's up to you.
I think Bond's he's a bit of an underdog in the whole franchise battle.
He is, yeah. We only picked him because it had lots of films.
Let's be fair. It kind of got this far because it had 8 films in it.
Yeah, it did.
So, okay. Avengers Endgame wins then.
Okay. That's fine.
I think
you probably won't tonight.
To be perfectly honest, it got much more of a reaction out of me than Skyfall did. Skyfall was just, oh, good. It's a good film. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
And
it's more of a relief.
Upon reflection, it's that, oh yeah, this is actually a really great film and the best one. With Endgame, it's so good. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Endgame can have a happy third place, and Skyfall can be fourth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lovely.
Okay.
Right, this is it.
It's
final.
It's time for the big boys. The big boys.
The big
boys. So, the final, the best franchise film. Is it going to be Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, or The Empire Strikes Back? And are we calling it The Empire Strikes Back, or do you want to call it Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back?
I think it goes by either, doesn't it? They're sort of interchangeable. Some people just call it, most people just call it Empire. Let's suppose we shorten it because the title's fucking long.
Yeah. ESB.
Yeah, ESB. Why not? And POA.
POA. Okay.
How do you feel about this? Where do your initial thoughts lie? Because this would have been in your idea. This would have been the third, fourth playoff in your ideal world.
In my ideal world, neither of these would have been the top brackets. So, I think The Empire Strikes Back feels more Star Wars than Prisoner of Azkaban feels Harry Potter.
True.
Just a weird metric that came into my head. I never considered Prisoner of Azkaban a particularly Harry Potter-y film. There's no Voldemort in it.
No. Voldemort's not in a lot of them.
He's in 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8.
Yeah, but it's not.
And he plays a huge part
in 1, we see his legs, and in 2, we see him at 14.
Yeah, we see his face in 1, like in the back of the old turban.
Oh yeah, we did, but different actor though.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Can't remember his name, but he must have been pissed.
Anyway, it's a weird metric to.
It is again. All of these comparisons are almost impossible to compare due to their being vastly different.
Yeah. I think Empire did the best job of upping the stakes.
True.
But that's unfair towards Prisoner of Azkaban, who didn't have any stakes to bring up because it's based on a book.
Yeah.
That also didn't really raise stakes that much. It was more of an emotional.
Yeah.
Mystery.
Yeah. I am very much in Struggletown.
Yeah. I'm not 100. I think Prisoner of Azkaban could have done more.
Yeah.
Whereas Empire
did everything it needed to do.
I couldn't really give you many more things that it could.
More complete.
Yeah.
I get you.
But again, that's due to the fact that Prisoner of Azkaban's an adaptation, and you've.
Yeah. Again.
It's really hard to judge.
It's almost like the system's flawed, David.
Yeah, it's almost like judging films against each other for a definitive winner.
Isn't how you should do it. It's almost as if, complete.
Yeah. Okay, if we're going purely on a personal gut reaction, I say Empire.
Okay.
Like without me trying to think of weird ways to rationalize it, Empire's preferred to me.
Sure.
Do you have a gut reaction to seeing that on screen? Do you have a gut reaction?
I do, David.
Is it Prisoner of Azkaban?
It fucking is. And I hate that it is, because it just because it's just going to come down to the scores, and we may have all just went for this episode of Frat Party. Just go on Metacritic. Metacritic, yeah, it's where they compare cricket teams. Just go on Metacritic and look at films, because that's what it's come down to. Our opinions have essentially been for naught.
It's nice to know that we agree with the internet sometimes.
It's good. It's nice. Yeah, your opinions have been confirmed, and that's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's nice to be accepted.
Okay. Well, to be quite honest, both of them are your pick.
Yeah.
In a way.
I feel bad about that.
Therefore, your
which
opinion,
means.
Therefore, in my head, your opinions on which one wins mean more than mine.
Well, I had the same with the third, fourth playoff. That's why I said you should decide.
Yeah. Yes, and I agree with the pick. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, it's got to be Prisoner of
Azkaban. What scores are for each one?
I think they're close. Let's have a look, because I wrote them out.
Yeah.
On a bit of paper. They're exactly the same.
Oh, for heaven's sake, fucking hell.
Both 82.
Both 82. Do you want to do an IMDb one or a Rotten Tomatoes one?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's just defer to the internet. We'll do Rotten Tomatoes. I trust it a little bit more than IMDb.
Oh, you know what we could do?
Go on.
Say it's so close that we need other people's help.
Yes. Let's interact with our audience.
It's a poll.
Let's put out a poll. Let's completely cop out.
Which of these films is better?
You know what? I'd happily let that happen. I'd rather than make the decision and tear my mind in two. I think I'd rather let the audience decide.
Okay, there we are. Head to our Facebook page.
Yes.
Find the poll. Which film is better? Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban or The Empire Strikes Back?
And the beginning of next episode, we'll just tell you who won.
We'll do a little reveal.
Of what happened.
Preferably with other members of Rat Party who
can also put they can vote as well. You three.
Yeah.
Peter, Callum, and Sam.
Yeah.
Vote. You better fucking vote.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I know which one Sam's going to vote for.
Yeah.
Be sure I know which one Callum's going to vote for.
It's going to come down to Big Pete.
So Peter's the wild card in this situation.
Yep. And all our lovely listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. That's it. We cannot agree on a winner.
No, we've actually come to an absolute stalemate.
Yeah.
Both internally and between ourselves.
So we
have to leave it at that.
I'm happy with leaving it at that.
Yeah, I am. I'm happy to let the audience decide.
All right. That's it.
We did it. That was a new little experiment. I say little experiment. Nearly 2-hour experiment. That we may revisit in the future because I think it's quite a good system.
That was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. And there's online tools to make it visually appealing. Which is better than me for 20 minutes going, I'm just doing some adding up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we may revisit this. We may get the other boys in and reshuffle some different categories or different things. There's a whole world of stuff out there.
I'd be interested to do it with like directors, for example.
Yeah, you can, as long as you can divide stuff into 4 different things and have 8 in each one minimum. We can do it.
Yeah, get all the Nolan films, get all the Tarantinos, get all the Spielbergs.
Just pick 4 directors that we love and then just pit them against each other.
Excellent.
Well, thank you for joining us.
A Ryan and Wiley production.
Yeah, we had to think something up last minute, and we did. Be happy, or you wouldn't have got an episode. All right, you wouldn't have had anything this week if we didn't do this. So be happy.
Brilliant.
Can't complain.
Also, don't forget to like, share, and
Yes.
No. More than anything, though, we would love to get a solid answer on this best franchise film.
We will put a poll out.
Head over to Facebook, put a little vote in.
Yeah.
We'd like
to put the episode will come out when this episode's out. The poll will come out like a couple of hours after the episode goes live.
Yeah. And you know
at
what?
The same time.
If you disagree about Endgame and Skyfall not being in the final, please let us know about that as well.
Yeah, we could have done 2 polls. We could have done the 3rd and 4th and the 1 and 2, but
yeah,
well, the whole thing.
I mean,
we
the
could have
third
the whole
one,
end bit.
it was more of a solid win for Endgame.
I think it had a bit more oomph behind it. This one was too close. Okay.
Cool. We're going to leave it at that. Thanks very much for staying.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what the new format.
Let us know if we could do it again, keep it again. Did you like it? Did you not like it?
All of that.
All of that jazz.
Even though every time we ask for opinions, we don't get any back.
No, but you know what? We ask. That's all we can do, David.
Exactly. No. You know what? If people didn't like it, they'd let us know.
Yeah, whereas they don't.
That's the thing about the internet.
No opinion is better than bad opinions.
Something, they'll talk about it.
Yes.
If they're fine with it, they'll say nothing.
Yep. So we can take solace in the fact that we are distinctly mediocre.
Yes.
And I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and I think that's a great note to leave the episode on.
Thank you for listening to our mediocre podcast.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of whatever we've been doing here at Rap Party HQ. We'd like to thank Sam Sargent for supplying the score. To hear the full tracks and more music of the same ilk, feel free to head to soundcloud.com/Sam Sargent and tell him Rap Party sent you, preferably not at gunpoint. While on the internet, it'd help us out if you liked us on Facebook, followed us on Twitter, and kept an eye out for further episodes. Thanks once again for listening, and that's a wrap.